Neff knows that at the heart of every kitchen, it's not the oven, but it's the memories that we create with our friends and our family. And they've asked me to recreate one of my favourite food memories. So the dish is lobster with perfectly cooked chips and salad cream. And in fact, this dish used to be on the menu at my restaurant. So to get the lobster, we're going to Wales. I've grown up going to Wales. It's where my mum and dad took our family for our summer holiday. It's on the doorstep to the restaurant that I had in Manchester. It's where I go today to unwind and go surfing, and it's one of the best places in the world to get lobster. You see what's beautiful about lobster from this part of the world? You've got the crystal clear or nutrient-rich water coming down from Iceland, and then the Gulf Stream picks up all that warmth, and so this part of the world has a unique marine environment. Right, boys.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
On board.
What's the biggest lobster you've got round here?
I had a 4 kilo lobster last year, about 8.5 pound. It filled a chafing tray.
And why are the lobsters so good?
Well, the tide runs through Ramsey Sound and at the back of the island at about 9 knots. The sheer volume of water that means that it's always been refreshed, plenty of nutrients, plenty of oxygen. We get some nice lobsters that run through, clean, good quality fish.
Right, Jono's sorted me out the lobsters. Next up, I've got to cook the dish. Now you know my food memory, let me show you how to cook it. First up, the tatties. Okay, so I'm going to peel these Maris Piper potatoes, and then I'm going to cut them into fat cut chips and put them in some water. Maris Piper potatoes make the perfect chip, and it's important that you just get nice big fat chips because we're going to cook them twice so they get a super good crunch. Once you've got them sliced, get them into some cold water because you want to wash off the starch. So I've given the chips a good rinse to get rid of all that starch, and now I'm going to get them into some boiling water to parboil them. Now, the perfect condiment to go with this dish is salad cream. Now, it's kind of a forgotten English traditional condiment. Most people use aioli or mayonnaise, but this is English and it comes from my childhood. I think of salad cream, I think of my mom, and this is just a beautiful, simple recipe for you. And it starts with some hard-boiled eggs. So we start by putting 2 hard-boiled yolks in there. And now what we need is 4 teaspoons of mustard powder, English mustard powder. And then you need 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar because you need that tang in there. And then you need 150 millilitres of double cream. So now we need to have just a little bit of sweetness. So you need about a teaspoon of caster sugar. And then what's absolutely vital is that you've got to season with salt and pepper. So a good pinch of good quality sea salt. And then you need some pepper. Now it's time to mix all those ingredients together. So get your stick blender, put it in, and we're going to whiz all those ingredients together. So now it's beginning to develop that classic yellow colour of the salad cream that comes from the egg yolks. Now I'm going to add 150 mils of olive oil. Now it's so important to taste it, make sure you've got your seasoning just right. So we'll just pull that out. So it looks a little like mayonnaise, but it's far more indulgent, it's more yellow. Oh, it takes me right back to my mum's table. You've got the English mustard in there, you've got the white wine vinegar that gives it a tang, and then you've just got that beautiful depth that comes from the double cream. Let's get that out and then crack on with the lobster. Okay, I've got my fresh lobster from Wales, from that unique environment that's perfect for seafood. Let's get it prepared. Now, this is really clever. It's the twist pad fire for operating the hob. The griddle plate's nice and hot, it's time to cook the lobster. So for the first 60 seconds, we cook the lobster flesh side down. Let's get it on. I'm just pushing those down onto the grill. I just want to cook them on this side to get a little bit of colouring, a little bit of caramelisation, and then we'll flip them. So this one's got a nice bit of colour now. Add a little bit of butter. That's going to add a real depth and creaminess to the lobster meat, and it's going to broil in there in the shell, so all the juices and everything are in there. It's delicious. Lobsters are cooking. Let's get the chips on. Right, these lobsters are done, so I'm going to get those off. And they just look so good. And then let's finish off these chips, and then it's time to plate up. Once the chips are done, they've got to go into kitchen roll because you need to drain off the excess fat. Then you must use some good quality sea salt. Season them immediately, and then obviously the chef has to try to see if they're up to standard. The perfect chip. All right, it's got that crunch straight away. Fluffy potato on the inside. Like, that's a work of art right there. Oh. Oh. Let's plate up. So you've got your two lobsters. There's some char grilled lemon that you can just squeeze on top. Then get your chips. Now you can just drop them on, but I like to be a little bit ornate. And then you finish off with your salad cream. That's my Welsh lobster with the chips and the salad cream. I'm well happy with that. I can't wait to share it with my mates. That's a dish from my restaurant and the salad cream from my childhood. Let's take it over. Okay, people, get stuck in.
Wow, wonderful.
Right, cheers. Perfect for me.
So what are we having here?
So this is one of the dishes that I used to serve at the restaurant. It was one of my favourite dishes. And for me, most chefs can get experimental on the starter menu. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to celebrate Englishness. And for me, salad cream is uniquely English. It's only from England. And I love the idea of that with the perfect chip. And you're supposed to just dunk it in.
This salad cream brings it together and it's the star of the plate. Yeah.
I hear the lobster is from Wales.
Yeah. So when my restaurant was in Manchester, which is not too far away, but also you have the beautiful clear water that comes down from Greenland, and you get the Gulf Stream that comes up from America, and so the west coast of Britain has this incredibly clear, nutritious, rich water that's actually warmer than any other part of Europe. So the seafood is sublime from that part of the world.
I would agree. I mean, you know, with my wife from Wales, I definitely agree with you. Come and agree.
When I think back to when I was a kid, it was my mum putting food on the table, be it for us as a family or friends and family coming over. And the one thing that was always on the table was this bottle of salad cream. Do you know what I mean? It's almost kind of like reassuring that it's always there.
Okay.
And so being able to make a really good quality one that's dead easy to make, and then be able to pass that on to people so that salad cream isn't forgotten. Because kind of in a way, you know what I mean? Salad cream is my mum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Simple things. Yeah, simple things, exactly.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
That was
Fantastic,
delicious.
fantastic start.